Good evening, my peoples, and welcome back to the counterattack. I hope you and yours are doing very, very well. Today, it is that time of the year, time for the Arsenal 21-22 season review. It's time to slide a thermometer up Arsenal and see what's what. Essentially, it went from horrendous to, pretty decent to so disappointing. Let's get into it. Something I will never understand is why is a transfer window open while the European season has already started? I have no idea, but it really hurt us at the beginning of this past season. Ugh, the start was so rough. 3 straight losses. Brentford, Chelsea, and then, of course, our annual whipping at the Etihad 5-0. In our first 3 matches, we did not score one solitary goal. Absolutely ridiculous. And we gave up 9. It was a horrible start. Balogun, who we sent on loan to Middlesbrough in the championship, started our very first match. Illness and the lack of transfer incoming activity at the start of August last year, it really hurt us. And we were in deep troubles. At the start of last season, I did not think it would be so topsy-turvy. Honestly, I thought we would just coast to like 7th or 8th place, but that is not the way it turned out. After those first 3 games, like I said, my people, I was not feeling good. But, I think in hindsight, we have to give Arteta and Edu credit here for their talent ID, because the players that they brought in after those first 3 matches, when eventually the transfer window ended, they were quite good. Takahiro Tomiyasu was excellent when he was playing this past year. Ben White, people complain about that he cost $50 million, but I think he's absolutely been worth it. Ramsdale, he had sort of an up and down season, which you gotta expect from a young keeper, but it was mostly very positive, especially, when he started against Norwich and he started playing. As we really got into the meat and potatoes of the campaign, things started to go pretty well, pretty decently. We were unbeaten in 8 after we lost 5-0 at the Etihad, and we beat some pretty decent teams. We won the North London Derby. We did quite well against Villa at home. We beat Leicester on the road. I think we all remember Aaron Ramsdale, just amazing save there. Really got us the 3 points on that day. And, things were looking pretty good. As the bleak midwinter approached the United Kingdom, our fortune sort of faded a little bit here in the middle of the year. We had quite a weird away match to Manchester United. You remember that weird Emile Smith Rowe goal that was the ref didn't whistle for, and De Gea got fouled by his own man. I think it was Fred who stepped on his foot. It's just a weird couple of games. I thought we were a little bit unlucky to lose at Old Trafford. Little bit unlucky. Odegaard had a really poor tackle. I think he was on Fernandez, and the penalty kick was the difference at the end of that one. But the game that really hurt us in the middle of the year was Everton away. Everton were horrible this year. Absolutely horrendous. Frank Lampard barely kept them up. But we went to Goodison and just, completely wet the bed. It was a horrendous performance. Probably our worst all year. And we walk out of there with a 2-1 loss, and I was not feeling good after that. I do not understand when people look at our Arsenal from this year and say that Arteta hasn't improved Arsenal. That is just patently untrue this year. We are so much better defensively. We are, finally, when we had all of our players, we started to look better offensively. The purchase of Odegaard and his jump this year under Arteta has really been probably the best thing for Arsenal all last year. But after that tough loss at Goodison, something else about Arsenal that I've noticed under Arteta is our resilience, our ability to bounce back. I'm looking at the whole year here, and there are some tough losses, and we're going to get into the really bad ones pretty soon. But after the losses, we've always bounced back with more than a few wins. Sometimes, a big unbeaten streak. But after Goodison, we had 4 straight wins, and that took us to New Year's Day. City at home, and I was feeling pretty confident at that point, my people. I mean, we had destroyed Norwich and Leeds on the road. You know, we kind of expected, but we pumped 9 past those two teams. And at home, we beat Southampton, which are a tricky team for us historically. And another good win over West Ham this year. Remember last year, we just could not get their number. But this year, we are the kings of East London, aren't we? What a confidence boost that performance of, obviously we didn't win and we lost on a last minute goal from City, but what a confidence boost that must have been considering the performance against City. We barely lost to them, and after that, we went on a pretty good run. Six wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss, and I believe that loss was away to Liverpool in the league, which we haven't won there, and I can't even remember how long. Maybe 10 years since we won at Anfield. But, you know, we'll leave that for another day. You know, 6 wins, 1 draw, and one loss. And that loss is to Liverpool in the next 8. What a great bounce back after losing at home to City. Arteta really had the boys going. Good wins against Leicester, against Wolves, who we have done the double over. Feels so good. And yeah, away to Wolves, home to Wolves, we beat them, and we got revenge over Brentford. So at this point, we're basically at the run-in now, and I'm looking at the standings, and I'm thinking that we can hunt down Chelsea. We are sitting pretty in 4th place. Champions League is looking pretty good, and we're looking at Chelsea, and they are not looking good at this point. So the run-in started. Here we go. Here we go. So we have Palace away, Brighton at home, and Southampton away. And I'm looking at these 3 games, and I'm looking at the 3 games after them and thinking, all right, we got to get at least 6 points out of these next 3 matches. And what do we do to these 3 definitely beatable sides? 3-0 loss to Palace at Selhurst Park. We lose at home 2-1 to Brighton. Oh my God. And we go to Southampton, and of course we do our yearly thing and we lose there. So now we've lost 3 in a row. We haven't lost 3 in a row since the beginning of the year, and things are looking absolutely so depressing, my people. So depressing, because our next 2 matches are Chelsea away and United at home. Oh my goodness. I was panicking, absolutely panicking. Oh, ye of little faith, Arteta came through. Oh, Arteta giveth, my people. Over the next 4 matches, we won all 4. We beat Chelsea at the Bridge. We destroyed United at home. We didn't even play that well, but they were horrible this year. Then we beat West Ham away. Oh, it's so good to win in East London. And then we beat Leeds at home. After winning 4 in a row, after losing those 3 very, very winnable games, you know, my head was all over the place. I really just did not know what to think. Had no idea what to think. I didn't know if we were going to bottle it. I didn't know if we were going to catch Chelsea and finish 3rd at this point. But I knew, we all knew that the last 3 matches of the season were absolutely crucial. North London derby away. Then we have Newcastle away, who are absolutely soaring like an eagle in the sky. Ugh, just our luck. And then we would wrap up the season with a home match against Everton, which I figured by that point they'd either be relegated and didn't care, or they'd be safe and didn't care. Grand opening, grand closing, we went up in White Hart Lane, and, well, it went badly on all fronts. The referee, of course, hated us, because all the refs hate us, and we just were swept aside. The less said about that match, the better, because it still makes me very angry, my people. But all wasn't lost. We were still in charge even after that horrendous performance at the toilet. And then we headed up to Newcastle and lost 2-0 in the second worst performance of our season. At this point in the season, you know, Tierney and Partey were out. We were pretty decimated by injuries. Eddie Nketiah's up front, which he did pretty well, but still, I don't think we expected to finish the run-in with Eddie Nketiah starting up front. Consider we started the year with Aubameyang and Lacazette, 2 alleged world-class players. Well, there it is. There was the collapse. And by the time we waltzed into the Everton game, it was already over. I mean, was it Tottenham finished 2 points above us? That's our lot. We had to win at St. James's Park, and we put in a horrendous performance. We looked half asleep. What a deflating way to end the season. While it was a deflating way to end the season, really just a sucker punch those last matches against Tottenham and against Newcastle away. On the whole, I have to say that, and I know people don't like to admit this, but Arteta, he kind of exceeded expectations. I thought that we'd finish somewhere between 6th and 8th place. Lucky to sneak into the Europa League, but up until the very, very end, we were in with a shout with a Champions League spot. And honestly, as a team in transition, as a building team, that is where we kind of needed to be. Tottenham pipped us to that last Champions League spot basically on the last day. We overachieved this year, honestly. We definitely overachieved. Thank you for sticking with me through this Arsenal season review 21-22. I had my little month-long break, so we're going to get into a lot more content over the next 4 weeks of preseason. May not do a video for every preseason match because Arsenal are trying to rinse my pockets, even though I already have a membership. But I believe we have Nuremberg tomorrow at our base in Germany for preseason. So, we're going to get into some preseason stuff. We're going to get into some transfer window stuff right when the window is sort of getting a little bit closer to when the season is going to start. But we're going to get into all of that. We are back here at the Counterattack, and I will see you next time. Take care.